Hello and welcome back to Toronto FC Fan TV. And in today's video, I'll be predicting where the MLS teams will finish in the regular season. I'll be asking and seeing where they finish, players that you want to watch out for, and my reasoning to putting them in the positions I have them. How many will I get right? Probably zero. So, finishing dead last in the East, I'm going to have to put the Chicago Fire. Now, unfortunately, I don't think they have a very strong team. I don't think they improved enough, and unfortunately for them, I think they'll not be able to finish much higher than last place in the East. Now, in 13th place, I put the Montreal Impact. With another new coach, with Henry leaving, I see a really big rebuild, and they don't have enough quality, no real quality, and they desperately need to fix the defense. So, until I see any more signings on that defense and fixing the defense, I'm going to put them in 13th. Plus, that's where they belong anyway. Now, in 12th place, I've put FC Cincinnati. They only scored 12 goals last season, but Acosta should be able to fix that goal issue. But the team is still pretty poor and don't have a great deal of squad depth. So I'm still going to put them near the bottom of the table, but I still feel that Acosta will be doing big things for the Cincinnati team. Now, in 11th place, I've put DC United. It's mostly the same squad, and honestly, it's still not good enough for the top half. I'll expect big things from Areola, but unfortunately, I'm still going to have to put him in 11th, due not improving enough through the team. In 10th place here is a really boom or bust team. I'm going to put Inter Miami. They're a decent team, but to make the playoffs, I think that Higuain is going to need to step up and score the goals for them and do the business, and I don't think he will. He has a record for typically choking when it really matters, and I don't think he'll be able to step up. I could be proven wrong, but this is definitely a boomer or bust team, and I think they're going to bust. Now in 9th place, I have Nashville. They're a well-rounded team, but I simply think that the teams above them, they're just better in my opinion, because they have a solid defense. Walker Zimmerman, the defensive player of the year last season, but their offense, unless Mukhtar can go and start producing better, I think it'll stagnate, costing them the playoffs. In 8th place, I've put New York Red Bull. I believe that the Red Bull could make the playoffs, as they have the talent, but I think they'll just miss out, and they'll miss out to the team they'll just sneak into the playoffs, New York City FC. Now, New York City will get the last playoff spot with Maxi Morales leading the charge, beating out both their neighbors in Red Bull and Nashville for the last playoff spot. In 6th place, I'm putting the New England Revolution. I think they have a solid defense, and a solid defense can go a long way, but unlike Nashville, I think they got great attackers and they can really bring the ball forward, as they showed in the playoffs, before eventually losing to the winners of the MLS Cup in Columbus Crew, and I think Butcherman will really be able to break out this season and show what he can do. Now, finishing 5th place, I'm going to put Atlanta United. As long as there's no major injuries as they had last season, Atlanta will be able to use their potent attack to cruise into finishing into the playoffs with a 5th place finish. So I think Joseph Martinez is still one of the best forwards in the league and might even compete for the Golden Boot. In 4th place, once again, is going to be Orlando City. Finishing 4th place last year, and again this year, they have one of the most talented squads in the MLS. Nani will truly break out and find his colors in this Orlando team and challenge for the Golden Boot and possibly even the MVP. In 3rd place, I've gone with the Philadelphia Union. A drop-off from their Supporters' Shield triumph last season, but still a solid finish. With the Keeper of the Year last season, they shouldn't have a problem keeping the ball out of the net, but scoring goals will be the problem after selling Arianson to Austria. 2nd place, I'm going to put Toronto FC. Now, TFC were always near the top of the table, and this season will be no exception. We have the best player in MLS with Pozuelo, but without the right DP, we'll likely fall short of topping the East once again. So, for right now, due to our stagnant attack, I've put us in a respectable 2nd. 1st place will be the Columbus Crew. Simply put, the reigning champions have the strongest and deepest team in the whole of MLS. The Crew have elite players in Zelarayan and Zardes, to name a few, and likely will top the East going into the playoffs and might even win the Supporters' Shield. Now for my Western predictions, in 13th place, I'm putting the Vancouver Whitecaps. Unfortunately for Vancouver, their team this year isn't very deep and they don't have a lot of depth. They will likely put all their hopes on Calavani, which will end up in finishing last in the West. In 12th place, I have the Houston Dynamo. The Dynamo didn't really do much to improve and are basically sending out the same team that finished bottom last season. And of course, doing the same thing over won't change the results. I might put them last, but I think that Vancouver are going to have a rough time this season. In 11th place, I put Real Salt Lake. Similar to Houston, they didn't shake up the squad and are likely looking at another poor season, once again finishing in 11th. 10th place, I put the new team, Austin FC. Now, the new teams in the MLS have assembled a solid team with both youth and experience. Although I think they could make the postseason, I'm just putting them at 10th right now because I've yet to see how they play as a team, how their coach is, and how well they work together. So I'm not sure. They could easily make the playoffs, but for now, I'm going to put them in 10th place. Finishing 9th will be the San Jose Earthquakes. A pretty good team, but horrible defense. Last season, they conceded the most goals, over 50 goals, in only about 20 games. And I think that their defensive issues will be a major problem this year, costing them a spot in the playoffs. 8th place will be FC Dallas. A drop from last season as they will miss the playoffs. It's not that I think they can't get a playoff spot due to any lack of talent, but due to the other teams in the West just being a little bit better, I think they'll edge them out for the playoff spots. Speaking of teams that'll edge them out for the playoff spots, getting the final playoff spot will be the LA Galaxy. I feel that Galaxy have been relying on individuals like Ibrahimovic for years and haven't had any real identity. But this year, I feel they have a really well-rounded team with an elite coach in Greg Vanney. So I've put them in a solid 7th, making the playoffs. In 6th place, I'm going with the Colorado Rapids. Colorado had an excellent campaign last season, and I don't think it will be any different this year. With a solid all-around team and a youthful Bassett, they should comfortably finish in 6th place with Cole Bassett really showing his colors on this Colorado team. In 5th place, I'm going to put Minnesota United. Another playoff berth for Minnesota, finishing 5th in the West. Reynoso will light up the league and even compete for the MVP, because he's one of the best players, and for a league that loves their 10s, he's no exception to being one of the best 10s in the league. In 4th place, I'm putting the Seattle Sounders. Despite their talent in Rudiez and Ladero, I have them dropping off for one major reason: squad depth. In a full season where squad rotation is crucial, I don't think they'll be able to keep up with the other top teams in the West with only having 20 players. So for now, I'm putting them in 4th place. In 3rd, I'm going to go with Sporting Kansas City. Kansas will 100% challenge for the top spot in the West, as they have one of the best squads in all of MLS. As long as Paludio can stay healthy, they will easily finish 3rd place, and depending on how they play this season, could even go up higher. But for now, I'm putting them in 3rd place. In 2nd, I'm going with the Portland Timbers. The MLS is back champions, looking for another strong season, and they will find one. Players like Valeri, Mora, Blanco, Elbabsi, etc. will slingshot Portland to being the 2nd best team in the West. Now in 1st place, the undisputed best team in the West in my opinion, will be LAFC. Simply put, LAFC have the best attack in MLS. With reigning Golden Boot winner in Rossi and 2019 Golden Boot and MVP winner in Vela, LA shouldn't have an issue topping the West, with both Vela and Rossi competing for the Golden Boot and MVP. Those were my MLS predictions. Let me know in the comments if I've done your team dirty, severely overrated them, or even put them just right in their proper spot. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and see ya.